So our first story comes from Mike Tyson. Speaking on the Hot Boxing podcast, Tyson praises Conor McGregor's boxing ability. He admired how Conor went 10 rounds against the, quote, greatest boxer in the last 100 years of boxing. Here's the clip.
Yeah, listen, a spectacle, but listen, this is where it's not a spectacle. Mm-hmm. This is the only, it's a spectacle, yeah, but this is where it's not. This is why that was, listen, he never really had a boxing match in his life, right?
Right.
He went 10 rounds with the greatest fighter in the last 100 years of boxing. He went 10 rounds, scored punches on the greatest fighter in the last 100 years. Yeah. Did he do something? Did he accomplish something? A star? See, people ain't looking. People just want to see the black guy beat the white guy. They just want to see it. But look what he had to fight against. Mm-hmm. And look what he did when he fought against it. Listen, imagine the guy that never had a boxing match and he's fighting boxing with me. 10 rounds and he's fighting me, and we're fighting. Yeah, but imagine if he did, and we're fighting. I'm doing my thing. That's a bad motherfucker. First fight, 10 rounds with the champ, the best champ in the last 50 years or something like that. Yeah. That's the winner of the fight. Yeah. That's the winner. This should have been a 1 round, 2 round fight. Before he should have took it easy. It should have been easy. He had to sweat. He had to fight him. He was fighting somebody that was throwing back.
Now, Conor McGregor saw this clip and tweeted, "Thank you, Mike, and just know that for the inevitable rematch with the knowledge I now hold of Floyd's style, plus under the tutelage of my old school boxing coach, I will crack the puzzle, and I will beat Floyd. I promise my life on it. It is great to see you back, Iron Mike." Our next story is an update to Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou. Ngannou posted a picture of Jon Jones being punched today with the caption that said, "Everybody does have punching power, my friend, but not my power. I hit you like this, you won't keep going." Now, Jon Jones did see this post and commented on it twice. He said, "Bro, with all that power comes a limited amount of time. It's effective. If you can't get me out within the first or second round, good luck keeping up with my pace and fight IQ. I'll literally pick you apart. What's your plan to defeat one of the most clever fighters in the history of the sport? Oh, easy, I'm just going to swing at his head and knock him out," said every opponent I've ever faced. Let me know who you guys got winning this fight in the comments down below. Our next story comes from Justin Gaethje. Speaking with Brett Okamoto, Gaethje sends a message to Conor McGregor and tells him that he will not fight him next.
No, I have nothing to say to him. Goes back to my losing his clout in the game. You know, you don't get to fight me next. As much as, you know, he set himself up, because unless there's crazy circumstances where Khabib cannot fight, then we'll fight. That's the only way. But other than that, you don't get a say. I mean, Dana White laughed. He laughed whenever they told him that Conor said that he said he was fighting. He laughed. He said, no, Gaethje's fighting Khabib. You know, you're still worth all the money, I promise you. You know, biggest name in the game, can't be beat, can't be matched. That's true. But he's losing his clout when it comes to the game, man. In the game.
Our next story comes from Tony Ferguson. A couple days ago, Khabib Nurmagomedov sent a positive tweet to Tony. It read, "Whatever happened is in the past. Heads up, Tony. I hope everything is good with you and your family. When your son grows up, he'll be proud of you." Now, Tony Ferguson replied today. He said, "Respect, Khabib. You still owe me 20 push-ups. I'm glad your pops is doing better. I'll see you soon, kid. Keep training for the real finale. Signed, Champ." Our next story comes from Anthony Smith, who released an official statement about his loss to Glover Teixeira. He wrote, "Everyone is arguing about a good stop, bad corner, good corner, blah blah blah. I'm still winning, I'm good, and I'm exactly where I need to be, doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. All that time spent worrying about me needs to be spent somewhere a little more productive. Hashtag Lionheart." Referee Jason Herzog, who was the ref in Anthony Smith's fight, also released a statement taking full blame for the whole controversy. He posted to social media. He said, "This sport of MMA is beautiful. It's pure and an incredible teacher. Some lessons are more harsh than others. I've seen a lot of opinions about what should have happened, who was at fault. But let me be clear, there's only one person to blame, me. I am responsible for each fighter I am entrusted to oversee. I will take this experience, make the necessary changes, and get better." Our next story comes from Dan Hardy, who has been thinking of returning to the UFC for a long time now. Speaking on the Real Quick with Mike Swick podcast, Hardy says that he wants to fight Donald Cerrone in his comeback fight and that it makes sense for both guys to take it.
Oh yeah, for sure. If the timing and location's right, absolutely, I'd sign it. I think the reality is, like, he's at the end of his career. I mean, that's 4 losses in a row. I've been there myself, and I'm not saying that he can't come back and turn it around and pick up a couple of wins and stuff, but he's not. He's far enough away from a title shot now to just kind of pick and choose and have fun fights that make sense to him. And I think that makes sense. I think that it would be a fun fight. You know, I mean, he's had a lot of fights since the last time I fought. He's got a lot of experience. He's also taken a lot of wear and tear. I feel like I know his game very well because I've watched his fights over and over again. I just think it will be a fun one, you know. Maybe loser leaves town. Maybe it'd be we fight for pink slips. We could do it like old hot rod racing style, and loser retires.
Our next story comes from Curtis Blaydes, who went off on Stipe Miocic for holding up the division. He said, "Any professional athlete, and especially a pro fighter, needs to take responsibility for their training. This pandemic hasn't forced me to miss one workout. Stipe is tripping if he thinks people believe he can't train because his coach can't open the gym up." Now a fan replied with, "Bro, he's a first responder, gotta give him some slack," which Blaydes responded with, "So pick a job to commit to. We deserve a champion who's committed to continually proving he's the champ. If he can't do that for the foreseeable future, that's okay, no shade, but holding up the division isn't fair to all the other guys who are continually working for a title shot." Our final story comes from Urijah Faber, who weighed in Friday morning as a backup for UFC Jacksonville at lightweight. Urijah was to be a backup for his team alpha male fighter Song Yadong in his fight against Marlon Vera. Speaking with Ariel Helwani, Urijah explained the whole situation. He said, "Song was supposed to be cleared, but they were having last-minute visa issues. So there were a bunch of wild scenarios being thrown around, jets to other countries, etc. to get issues cleared. I told UFC worst case scenario I would be out there and could step in, so everything was all good to go, and then something came up. There was a scramble and a panic last night, so I cut some weight to get under 155 to possibly be a last-minute replacement. Sounds like it is resolved, but I'm clear to fight just in case." So that about wraps up the video for today. If you made it this far, I thank you for watching, and peace.